Welcome to another edition of the Fantasy Sports Matrix. John is off again today, but your host Bobby Stabs is here. Childs, Hawk, how you guys doing today?
Life's good, baby. Life is good.
Beautiful. Well, we got a lot going on today. We're going to go through our typical Keeper League Kid show and then try and hop in a double dribble draft afterwards on Underdog. But we are going to hop right into Save It for the Pod. Hot takes. Who's got a good take to go first? Childs, I know you were chomping at the bit. What do you got?
Yeah, I'm bringing back our segment from last season and taking a little victory lap here with my second high score week in a row for KLK. The team is back, man. It was a little bit of a sluggish start, but the boys are back. Allen and Diggs are back. Monty is a top 5 running back until I don't see it anymore. Etienne's just waiting to blow, and Kelsey's back. So the boys are back. And, you know, while I was doing a little research here, I took a look back over the past few years because it feels like I've been in this spot a lot recently. And since drafting Josh Allen in 2020, if all holds this year, I will make the playoffs the 4th straight year. And if I can find a way to potentially win a title, this could be the best run in KLK history. And honestly, I don't know how much credit I can take because I think a lot of it has just come down to the luck of drafting Josh Allen in the 15th round and being able to have a top 3 QB. So as much as I want to pound my chest and say this is all me and I'm the shit and I am a fantasy god, it's not. I just took an elite quarterback the year he blew up and have gotten lucky with having him on my squad. So thanks, Josh.
I'm gonna go against that a little bit. I think you deserve a little bit more credit than you're giving yourself.
Yeah, sure.
You drafted Ridley last year in the 15th round. No one else got him, right? No one else thought to do that.
17.
All right, 17th.
That's fair.
15th
That's
round
fair.
Keeper, right?
Yeah.
You took that gamble. It's paying off so far. He looks good. You were the only one who made a semblance of effort to trade for Amon-Ra St. Brown the year I wasn't going to keep him anyway. I wasn't going to keep him anyway. And then the Etienne draft when he did up his
that's fair.
Up? Was it his ankle?
Liz Frank. He had Liz Frank.
He had Liz Frank as a foot. I knew that.
Yep.
I knew it wasn't an ACL. So give yourself a little credit. My take of the week is the Titans are back.
Let's go. They might be.
We looked incredible against Cincinnati. Our defense looked good. The offense looked even better. Derrick Henry looked phenomenal. Our offensive line threw some blocks. This is we may run the table in a relatively weak South if we can beat up on Houston, which is the one team I'm weirdly worried about.
Houston looks good, man.
Yeah, Houston looks good. All right, Bobby, over to you.
Yeah, I made the thumbnail Anthony Richardson and Devin Achan. I'm trying to get that last name down.
Yeah, I think it's Achan, yeah.
Achan. But I'm just super excited to see how these guys have been performing so far their rookie year. My take is that a lot of the top BBM teams that are currently at the top of the leaderboard, I don't think they're going to finish there. I think there's a lot of players, Cup, Taylor, Richardson, Achan, a few other guys who haven't completely exploded yet or haven't been super consistent that I think are going to be a little bit more consistent down the stretch. And some of those guys are going to be the guys that you need to own by the end of the season. But I'm just super excited as well for our league and Keeper League Kids. We'll get to the power rankings when Hawk gets to that segment. But I think that this I guess call it 1 through 8 is still really open. And I know that some teams are talking about trading and selling some players. We haven't seen anything happen yet. So maybe that wasn't a realistic idea for them. But I think that there's a lot of really good players and a lot of good teams. And I'm excited to see how this season ends for us. So, anything else real quick just before we hop into the best ball portfolio review?
One other thing on KLK, just Hawk, I want to say I think these kind of wins and median wins you've snuck out here a little bit early in the season are going to be
out
massive. They are going to be massive. I think. I mean, I know you've
Yeah.
gone well above it a couple times, but I feel like you were close a couple times. No.
Absolutely. No, I think I've been like fourth, fifth, fourth.
Yeah, I think like that's going to matter with like me being 5-3, Bob looming at 3-5. Like I think you getting over the hump to be 7-1 is going to matter here later on in the season.
Let's see, I was third week 1. 1, 2, 3. I was fifth week 2.
Yep. It's just massive. Median's fun.
Yeah, last week was fourth, and then this week was fourth again.
All right. So as I am pulling up some of the big board, one of the things I wanted to go back and look at, I haven't actually seen what the standings are yet, but real quick, going at our portfolio for Best Ball Mania, Childs leading the pack at 21% still, doing really well. I had a bit of a fall off last week. One of the things that I am regretting right now, I may have even said it last week, was not taking enough Christian McCaffrey. Still fine that I was taking Jefferson 1-1. Even fine I was taking Chase 1-2. But the fact that I was taking Kupp, Hill always over CMC makes me regret that a little bit more. I probably have to get a little bit more even to the elite running back, even though I love pissing. CMC may win MVP this year if he keeps this up. So he's a super fun player to keep an eye on for the rest of the season.
Vegas doesn't agree with you. Purdy has better
I know.
MVP odds.
I saw that. I was looking at it, and it looks like – and I get it. McCaffrey will have some bad games or will miss a game or two here or there, and he probably will fall off. And they're going to give it to a quarterback. But super impressive to see what he's doing right now. My eliminator update, I lost 4 teams this week. It was super unfortunate. I had Eckler, Barkley teams going down. I had one team that had Deshaun Watson, Jimmy G, and Geno Smith. So not the best week for me, but we're going to keep pushing. I think it's 8 teams left with about 11 more weeks to go. So, or no, way more than that, 12, 13 more weeks to go. So we'll see what happens, but not my best showing, that's for sure. Is this in here? Yes. Okay, great. So now I have the big board up, and I have these labeled. One of them should say boys on it.
It's a big board that we all did together?
Yeah, so on 3-4. So this was the day that Childs won like 10, 20 grand or something.
7. But yeah, it was fun.
7 grand, still really good. And looking at that, Childs is in 3rd place. We'll take a look at your team. Hawk in 5th place. I'm in 7th, and Jan in 10th. So real quick, taking a look at what that team was. Trevor, Carr, Pickett, CMC. There you go. Damian Pierce, Rashad White, Biggs,
Deuce.
Keaton Mitchell. Keaton Mitchell.
Wow.
There could be many Keaton Mitchell big board
Let's
teams.
go.
Maybe I had 1 or 2, but that's awesome seeing Keaton Mitchell in there. Garrett Wilson, Devonta Smith, Calvin Ridley. That's a sick wide receiver group. Sucks about Aaron Rodgers. Pickens, Tony, Zay,
Palmer.
Looking good.
Wow. Yeah,
That's
a fun little team. I'm surprised that
that's a squad.
Yeah, some of these other teams are playing. Kyle Trask, I love that. Let me go over to what was the next one? Hawks team.
4 QBs.
Oh, this is one where I auto-drafted Purdy at the end.
That's so funny that, back at this time, Jimmy was going ahead of Purdy. Maybe I'll double check the board.
Hold on.
We're
not going to blame that on auto-drafting Purdy because you drafted Jimmy when you already had Fields and Lamar.
No, I think I auto-drafted both of them.
Oh.
I think
it was very late.
I think if you go to the actual board, I think Jimmy and Purdy were my last 2 picks.
Yeah, I'm gonna swap. You guys can't see the board now. Let me.
No.
It's okay.
Just check. We don't need to.
Yeah. So you're saying? Let me find your team.
What were my last pick?
So you went. This is great. You went in the 18th round. You took Jimmy Garoppolo, and then coming back at the 19-20 turn, you went Brock Purdy, and you ended with Michael Carter.
Okay,
so that's
clearly I auto
100%
drafted the
auto.
last 3 rounds.
Probably.
All right,
And
let's see
Hayden
your
Hurst,
squad, Bob.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hayden Hurst was your other pick right before
Also,
them. My
shout out
squad.
Kyle Anderson for being the reason this draft happened.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the slow-mo. So oh god.
Oh.
Oh god.
Oh.
Yo,
Yeah,
you don't want to know
very
my Trey Lance
successful
big board
team.
exposure, bro.
I have like 9 to 11%, I think, but
24.
Way too much Trey
I
Lance.
love it that I have Dorian Thompson. So this was definitely right after the NFL Combine because I
It was
remember
March,
being
I
super.
think.
Yeah, it was early March. So I remember being
Yeah.
super high on Dorian Thompson Robinson. Besides that, Pacheco, I got Achane though, and Spears, Jalen Warren. Like 0 running back strategy worked. I just didn't take any of the correct quarterbacks. Cooper Kupp obviously not doing well, but
yeah, I mean,
look at those 3 wide receivers: Kupp, ARSB, and Chris Olave. Can't really get much better than that.
Ayuk.
Tim Patrick, Darnell Washington, maybe hitting our lineups pretty soon with Freiermuth out a couple weeks. So yeah, fun team. I obviously just don't have the quarterbacks. Like Jared Goff has to just completely go off, or Dak has to get hurt for there to be any chance of that. And then real quick, let's do John's team, and then we'll hop out. Dobbins, that's unfortunate. Not the best 0 running back room, although Brian Robinson pretty solid. Mahomes and Stroud, really solid quarterbacks, though. Hopefully he's got Nico, DK, Cooper, Kirk, Mechie. Mims, though, that wound up being all right. Gabe Davis, who's a guy at tight end. Travis Kelce, who's looking like not a great pick right now.
He's going to be
But
fun.
yeah, he will.
Did we
for the
even look
first
at my
round,
team? I feel like we went to running back and we're like done, or we went to quarterback.
Yeah. No, I don't think we did finish. So obviously
That's
Rashad
fair.
Penny.
You got to have Rashad Penny.
We had, but especially back then when he was going like the 170s, 180s. I want to go back to some of those streams back then, and we were like, "How is Rashad Penny going this late?" Well, I think we understand now.
Yeah, now.
Why was Rashad Penny getting drafted?
But fun wide receivers though: Brown, Godwin, Dotson, Myers, Nico. Yeah, and then unfortunate.
God, that poor tight end room.
Yeah, Pitts and Chig, not the combo you needed this year.
I think I voiced
the
the potential of Chig being this year's Alberto on one of our streams and
You
got
did.
shit on
Yeah.
by all 3 of you.
Yeah.
All 3 of us.
And I
And
think
surely
I
enough,
think I was right.
I don't know because Alberto didn't even play. Like, did he even get snap count? What was his snap percentage?
He
At least
did early
Chig's
in
on
the
the
year.
field.
Yeah.
He played a little bit, but he wasn't playing by the time Dolchich got back. I don't even think he was playing at the end of the season.
No, he was a healthy scratch by the end of the year.
But yeah,
That's
so
fun
yeah,
though. That's fun.
Yeah,
I like that.
that's
that was fun. I'll probably pick out a few other drafts that a few of us were in for future shows. But heading back to, we have power rankings, and I'm gonna throw it over to you, Hawk.
Yeah, so retaining the top spot with another 2-0 week, guys 7-1, top of the board. From a points perspective, he's well above pretty much everyone except for DC. And he's barely above DC. So I had to keep Gutta in the top spot. DC's back. I mean, it's crazy, this team, when it's clicking. And even with Kelsey's not performing up to his normal standards, but as long as you get a couple big games, only 2 of the guys went above 15 points. And, besides Josh Allen, so I guess you had 3 total, but 2 of your position players above 15 points, and you still put up a 160 burger, which probably going to be the highest score this year. That was awesome. So DC retaining the 2 spot. I pushed myself up to 3. The consistency is just there. Like, I'm going to put up 100 to 110 points. And it's possible that I eventually have a team go off one of these weeks, but probably not. Greg dropped to 4. He's just so hurt. He's so hurt. He has no depth left. I imagine he's giving all of his fab for Jaleel, but we'll get there later. Bobby, got to give you some love. Like, this goes in line very much with Derrick Henry being back. Yeah. I think if that's the case, like, the rest of your lineup fills out really well. You got Richardson at QB, Kyron filling in that RB2 spot. Your receivers are a mess, but you have a plethora of them. So as long as they're always just a mess, like you'll have one guy get like 20 points one week and you'll start him. It'll happen.
Also,
I promise.
he has remained in striking distance with Cup coming back.
Right.
Yeah, that's the key.
That's
If-
oh, right. I forget you get Cup back to play me this week. Phenomenal. Yeah. So you'll be fine long term. And like, look, eventually one of JSN or London or Pickens or Higgins or somebody will step up and be that every week guy. You just got to wait it out a little bit, or make a trade. Tight end's a problem, but we all have our holes. Paul drops, Paul stays at 6 because you hopped him, but Shanker went back too. Again, it was another weak win for Paul. He's had a few of those where he wins and barely gets median, or wins but doesn't get median. It's a middle of the road team. It can improve. It can sell off either way. Shanker, I think this is the crack in the armor we were waiting to see. The running back situation is bad when Mostert's not putting up 50 points. And then the last 3 are just pretty clear at this point. I would say it's a 7-man race. If Shanker improves, like I think John's out of it. This was his like best week, and I guess he's missing Eckler. Like Eckler helps that team, but Gibbs is not it. I think that Freiermuth is being out a little bit. He has no backup tight end. I guess he's going to start Chig. Like that's not great. The bench is lacking options, especially at running back. So he's in trouble. I think Burner's in a lot of trouble, and Brandon's just the worst team that I think I've ever seen in KLK. It's really bad. Like this is worse than any Salman Manilow team, which is saying something.
Whose team? Brandon's?
Brandon's team is really bad.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of happens when you don't draft.
Wait, did he not show up for the draft? Anyway, that's the power rankings. I think there's going to be some movement this week with a couple people playing each other in the top 5. Excited to see that.
This is nitpicky as hell. John should not be over Burner. Burner's team is better.
I agree.
And it's a tall ask, but if Burner can like make the right lineup decisions, aka starting the hottest running back in the league, I think there are some players here. Kirk is looking like he might be the number 1 target in Jacksonville. Waddle's gonna get better. Bijan's gonna score. So I think
who knows how long Bijan's gonna be on his team.
Yeah, if he can make the right start calls, Burner should be better. Yeah, but management is definitely a factor here too.
Yeah, he might make a stupid trade. Who knows?
The only other nitpicky thing I was going to say was putting myself over Paul. I think it's probably pretty close. Otherwise, I'm like kind of dead in step with your rankings besides to Child's Point, Sunshine over Burner. But I think Paul's got a pretty solid team. Let's see kind of how he navigates the bye weeks. But to kind of break it out into tiers, I do kind of think there's a top 2 of Gutta and DC. 100%. And then there's like Hawk through Shanker / Sunshine. Because like when you look at Sunshine's team with Hurts and AJ Brown, it should be better. He's had a little bit of unfortunate luck. If he can pick up at least 1 win this week and get Eckler back, maybe he'll be in it. But again, I think that 4 spot is going to be pretty up for grabs. Greg's kind of in a weird spot. I'm kind of in a weird spot with Paul where we're both like, okay, but we both have our holes. So the trade market will be very interesting. But if you look at the bottom 2 teams in this ranking in particular, specifically Brandon and Burner, they don't really have a ton that is like you really want to trade for outside of Bijan and Michael Pittman. So it'll be interesting to see how the trade market kind of unfolds. I think there'll be a higher demand for those top guys. So someone like Burner or Brandon should get a good return. But I think there could be some guys looking to trade later on. Like if someone's like, oh, I'm out after week 7 and looking to try and sell, I don't know how much they're going to get because I don't think people are really going to be buying a whole lot. Because like Gutta and DC's team are like pretty locked and loaded right now. So they don't need a whole lot to make their teams better. So it'll be interesting to see. Any other last takes for Power Ranks before we move on?
One more.
Yes,
Go
please.
ahead.
Two. No, both of you guys.
No.
Childs, you
DC,
go first.
start us off.
Yeah, Childs, you go.
I look at Paul's team, and 6 is perfect for him because it's just a classic mid KLK team. Like, it's a good fantasy team.
Yeah.
But it's not a great team, and you need to be great to win this league.
Yeah.
It's just classic. And it's his first year, and he's going to get better. But it's just, I look at that team, and it's like, that's what somebody who comes into this league for the first year puts out there. And it's not his fault. That's what it is.
Yeah. And I will say, I think one more injury to Greg's team and he sells. And there's a lot of pieces there that people want. Like, Gutta's going to want Mahomes. I can see me making a play for Mahomes. You have Waller's probably going to come available to some tight end needy team if he has a good week here and there. Keenan Allen, Mike Evans. He's got some pieces that'll move because I can't imagine him trading Pollard or Wilson, but I think everyone else is available.
Nice. Love it. So moving on, we'll do matchup previews. I'm going to bring up our handy-dandy league right here. Blues Clues.
There we go.
All
Glad
right.
you got that.
Oh, yeah, of course. I had a childhood, unlike Hochberg, apparently.
What do you mean? I can sit down in my thinking chair and think.
That's really good.
Hey, if you're looking for primetime fantasy content, all you need are the Blues Clues references.
We make a whole new bit out of just Blues Clues references in fantasy football. I love it. All right, so Preddies. We did not talk about matchup of the week, so let's quickly scroll through these. It's probably
probably Gutta Paul.
Yeah, so let's start there. And I guess what we'll do, you want to just do in-depth this one? Is there another one that we want to do in-depth on?
Do you want to go in depth for me and you?
I want to go in depth for you two.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I think that's fair.
I'll do this one right now, break it down, and then I'll have Childs break down the last one, and then we'll have Hawk. You're cool going through the last three pretty quickly?
Absolutely.
Beautiful, works. So we got Paul against Gutta. This is, I think, fourth place versus first place, or third place versus third place versus first. I can't say those words.
First place versus fourth place.
Thank you. That was bad. So we got on Paul's side, we got Tua. I'll break it down by position. Tua against Purdy. I'm going to go Tua here just because of the matchup. The issue is the Dolphins could just steamroll the Giants, and Tua could throw 10 passes and they don't have to pass again. Whereas Purdy plays Dallas, so it'll probably be a close game Sunday night, but I'm probably giving the nod just to the safety of what you're getting from Tua there. At running back, Aaron Jones and James Cook versus McCaffrey and Breece Hall. Yikes, that's definitely one to Gutta. Breece Hall going up against Denver. I bet you guys saw this morning, Robert Saleh said that there will be no snap count for Breece Hall this week, which
I'm telling y'all, it's a Dalvin week. Everybody's
Exactly.
on Breece.
Dalvin week.
It's the Michael Carter
Dalvin
week,
week.
actually. Dalvin's he's just so bad. And the underlying metrics from last year kind of were hinting that he might just be completely washed, and it seems like he is. He's just getting the ball and running straight into the line. I bet it made a lot more sense when you had Aaron Rodgers back there. You needed a real pass blocker. But now it's just you want to get the ball into Breece Hall's hands as much as possible. That's your main offensive weapon. So I'm going Gutta for that. Wide receivers, you got Chase and Lamb against Jefferson and Puka. It's so crazy. I'm still taking Gutta here, even though it's 2 first-round picks who I really liked 5 weeks ago. But Jefferson against Kansas City is just an elite matchup, and I don't love Joe Burrow right now, so I can't really feel confident about Jamar Chase. And CeeDee Lamb is going to do his thing, especially in this game. They're going to find ways to get him open. But I'm going to give the slight nod to JJ and Puka. I think Kupp is going to play this week Jay Glazer from Fox, he said as much was going to happen, I think, after the games on Sunday. He's been really kind of plugged into some of the things on the Rams front. I believe he was the one who broke that Cam Akers wasn't going to play in week 2, right before those 1 o'clock games. So I think Cooper Kupp is going to play, but I still think Cooper's going to eat this week. Tight end, fantastic tight end matchup. Andrews against Laporta. You got Andrews against Pittsburgh, Laporta against Carolina. I'm going to go Andrews, but this is really just a toss-up. I believe Bateman is practicing. I don't believe OBJ is. So if OBJ is practicing and there's another guy in the mix, maybe I would go Laporta. But now we're getting Jamison Williams for 5 or 6 snaps this week, so that'll take away from Laporta a little bit. And then flex, we got Adam Thielen against Ayuk. It's really close, honestly. Like, obviously, I love the talent of Ayuk, but Detroit's going to be giving up a lot of passes, and I'm going to go with Thielen here, actually. And then at defense, Kansas City and Cincy, I don't know. I'd probably rather start Arizona defense than Cincy defense right now. So I'm going to give Paul the nod, although I don't know.
Fun Ayuk fact quick.
Yeah,
he
please.
has, I think 17 catches this year. 100% of those catches have gone for a first down or a touchdown.
Wow.
He's an absolute stud.
He's a
Brandon
baller.
Ayuk. Also, quick announcement, Gouda, I will go up to a 4th for Laporta. That is a final offer for Laporta.
I love we have the insider. No, you need to get the insider on to report that there's been discussions between Hawk and Gutta, and it looks like Hawk is willing to offer the 4th pick. Well, can you even? Yeah, we can trade 4th picks now. We can't have you breaking your own news. We got to get a Twitter account for KOK Insiders information up pretty soon.
Phenomenal idea.
But I am going – this is really close. I think both teams are going to hit the median this week. Not that we're counting that, but I am going to go Paul this week, actually. I think we're going to see a little bit of a surprise, maybe a little bit of a down week from some of his guys. It's going to be super close. Yeah, I'm going to go Paul in by like 1 or 2 points, but I can't wait to see how this matchup plays out. Childs, who you got?
Paul as well. I think the San Francisco triple dip this week comes back to bite him with Dallas being across the field. So yeah, that's really the main reason. So I'm going to go Paul.
Yeah, I am. I'm going to make it a sweep. I will also go in Paul. I just so I don't love the Dallas matchup right on the triple dip, and I certainly don't love the idea of I don't. Well, he's going to change out his defense, I hope. I don't love the idea of playing Puka this week. I am cold on Puka. If Cooper Kupp is playing, he's taking the targets. He's going to get 12 targets. On
that, here's a question. I have Puka and Kupp in a league. Am I crazy to start both this week?
No.
No, you're not crazy. But okay. I just don't like with his other options. I feel like if he had I would probably be starting Madison against KC, and I would be moving Ayuk up to wide receiver 2, and I'd be benching Puka.
And that's why Gutta has 480 points and you have 418.
Maybe. All right.
Would you do Dell over Puka?
No, I would not do Dell.
So over Puka. It's just dusty ass Alexander Madison.
Yeah, well, it's his last week before he loses the job to Cam Akers. So yeah,
I thought that was.
That was the 14% snap share.
I'm sorry, Cam had what, 8 yards per carry? Was that 8 yards per carry?
Or did he actually get 8 yards per carry? How many?
He had 5 carries for 40 yards.
All right, let's move on here. Sweep for Paul, surprising.
Sweep for Paul.
We'll see what happens.
And then let's go to Childs. Let me pull up Hochberg and I's matchup. A little bit weird with the projected points because Kupp is not projected, but we're relatively similar. Go ahead, Childs.
So QB, Cam Newton 2.0 versus maybe one of the most overhyped QB talents of the past decade. And I use the term talent there lightly. AR is, I think all of us thought he was going to be good. Bob the most. Him being this good this quickly is rather impressive. With the fact that like he's doing it with his arm, he's not just running up and down the field. He is throwing. I was watching some tape this week, and he is just throwing some darts into tight windows. He's special. I don't like
time I saw a guy throw a ball like that was Matt Stafford in his early career.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
right.
That's the kind of zip he has on the ball.
That's a good count.
Arm talent is special, and he has the legs too. He might be I was listening to a pod this summer, and somebody comped him to Josh Allen, and I think he might be Josh Allen, and maybe a little bit better arm. We'll see. That being said, it's AR. Fields has a tough matchup on the road against Washington. Give me AR. The sleeper projections will probably catch up to him quickly. Running back. This is close. Jacobs and Henry have both been disappointing, but had some decent weeks. Pierce, Bob, can you bring him up? I think he's only getting like a 55% snap share.
I want to say that went up a little bit. Yeah, so no, it's only up to 60%.
59. That's concerning. He had a good week last week against Pittsburgh, but that's Pittsburgh. I know Atlanta's not very good, but I don't think their defense is quite as bad as Pittsburgh. So, I don't know. This one's close. I like B-Rob versus Chicago. So, in a close one, I'm going to give Hawk running backs here. I just think B-Rob has taken that job over, and Chicago kind of sucks. So, that's going to be the tilt factor for me there. Mm-hmm. Wide receiver, happy you're getting Cup back, but this is Hawk in a landslide. Hill and Adams together. Still not sure how the league let this happen. Hill falling to you at 6 is outrageous. But yeah, that's Hawk. So, London, I just don't know how you can trust him, but I don't know how you can trust any of the bench guys either. So hopefully Cup is back for you. Boy, talk about a fun tight end matchup. Who's going to get 5 points? I think it's a race to 5 points for who wins this one. I'm not even going to say touchdown because I'm not sure either of these guys has a red zone target yet.
Probably not.
Hold on. Kyle Pitts had 2 very inaccurate balls thrown to him in the end zone this year already, okay?
Well, no. One of those, I was watching that game, and it was a throwaway. I think both of them, honestly, if you're talking from week 2, those were throwaways where he was just like looking to get it to anybody. That was not a target. But anyway, I digress.
Yeah, this is a push. Let it lie. Flex is really fun here. Kyron has been a tremendous fantasy back, but if you look at the underlying metrics, he's actually been kind of mid. Like just as far as breakaway rate, break tackle rate, things like that, and whatever the metrics are that I'm not good enough to understand. I just watch tape and say, oh, that guy looks fast. Versus Nico. I'm leaning Nico here. I think it's a matchup thing. I know Kyron's getting an incredible amount of work. It was slightly less this week. I believe Roddy Rivers got a little bit more work, where it was like instead of 90% of the carries, Kyron got like 80 or something like that. Yeah. But with the Philly matchup and just what they're working with inside, I'm going to go with Nico, who is a bona fide wide receiver 1. It's a classic Hawk team. He has 3 elite wide receivers, and we'll see if anybody else can pick up the slack. But give me Nico there at flex. Defense. Oh, I hope this holds because this is kind of fun. I'm going to go Baltimore just because, the Steelers defense has the potential to get sacks and turnovers and points. But we're either seeing a hobbled Kenny Pickett or Mitch Trubisky. So, and it's Matt Canada. So give me the Ravens there. I think this is going to be a close one. I think it's going to be like a 110-105 type game. And I'm going to go Bob here. I think his team's starting to right this ship a little bit. I think the difference at QB is going to be enough here to take you over the edge. Yeah. It'll be close, though.
I think it's going to come down to quarterback as well. I think whoever scores more points at the quarterback position is going to win. I was having a hard time picking this. I think I was actually thinking I was going to pick Hochberg, but I think I'll actually roll with me. I think that this Tennessee Indy game could be pretty big. And to defend Damian Pierce a little bit, they're getting Tunsil back this week as well as another guard. So I think that that's really going to help their running game. They want to get him involved, and Damian Pierce is a fun runner. I don't think you need to give him a ton of touches. He had 24 attempts last week, but they're finding interesting ways to get him the ball. A little bit worried about the pace. Obviously, Hawks going to kill me at wide receivers, but I'm gonna pick me. But I think it's going to be really, really close. I think we could also be fighting for the median as well. So I'm super excited for this. I need to at least get one win here and stay at 500 this week. So Hawk, who you got?
Well, I'm going to take me. I just think, one, I'm not even sure I'm going to start Fields tomorrow. I may go Goff against Carolina.
Okay.
But my fear with Goff against Carolina is the same fear I had against last week. Well, last week I was starting Fields no matter what, playing Denver. But against Green Bay, he was done after the first half.
Yeah.
So, that might be the case again. Detroit's dominant. They're really good. But I'm going to take me. I think my running backs do just enough. I think B-Rob is going to have a nice day. I think Jacobs is kind of back. He looked back. I don't know who's going to be under center, but he's going to get the ball. Is Garoppolo practicing yet or no?
I did not see that. I did not see that. I don't think and I don't know if they need to report if they did because they play Monday night.
Monday. Yeah, they might not have an injury report until.
I think we'll get an update tomorrow. And real quick, while I'm remembering, John said Gutta is going to win, and he said that I am going to beat Hochberg.
I can see that happening, by the way. It is definitely going to be a close one. I don't think
it's really close.
A stop either way.
I highly considered picking you as well. So, cool. We got everybody, right?
Yeah, we got everyone. Let's move to I'll just handle the last three quickly. Let's go.
You know what?
Brandon to start.
I'm flipping my pick. Hawks winning.
Ooh, okay. All right.
I'll take it.
Let's see if that comes back to bite you.
I don't know. He had the edge. I was thinking I ran through that projection and gave him the edge. He is the edge.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I find this one funny because I looked at Brandon's bench when I saw, he hasn't set his lineup yet, clearly, right? He's got Herbert in there. He's got Cooper in there. They're both on bye. John also clearly hasn't set his lineup yet. It surprised me the makeup of Brandon's team. He only has two quarterbacks. He's, mostly carrying running backs and wide receivers. He only has I guess he has two tight ends and only a second defense. This is not a normal Brandon team. He's actually structured somewhat properly.
Yeah.
That said, it's John in a landslide, right? Even with a bunch of these guys on bye, he might have to start Elijah Mitchell. He might have to start Michael Gallup or Jacoby Myers. He has Dotson. He'll start Dotson. He's still going to win. So John over Brandon, and both of these guys are missing the median. Next matchup. Unless you two want to weigh in real quick.
I'm going to take John as well. I said I wasn't going to take Brandon, and I'm sticking to that.
I'm taking Brandon. Olave isn't right.
Okay. So AJ Brown and Hurts are. So
they got him 58 points last week, and he only scored 95 as a team.
Is he going to start Burrow, or is he going to pick
Brandon
another
scored
quarterback?
95 this season?
I think he had a decent first or second week.
All right, he scored 107.
I made my pick. We'll move on.
All right.
The next one, we got Burner and Greg.
Oof.
This is a weird one. Who has a bunch of people on bye? Is it Greg or Burner? Or neither?
Neither.
Maybe I was thinking of Brandon's team that has a bunch of people on bye. No, Burner. Yeah, Burner has quite a few people on bye.
Burner's got some people, but he can fill it out.
Yeah. Why is Christian Kirk on the bench? What are
I
we
don't
doing?
know. I just thought the same thing.
What are we doing here? Just the team
Kamara.
mismanagement is so massive. I'm gonna go Greg here.
Would
I'm
you
gonna
play
go
him
Greg
over
here.
Watson? That's what you're saying? You'd play him over Watson?
I'd certainly play Kirk over Watson. Watson did not look back. Did he look back to anyone else? Like,
we only saw a little bit of him. It's hard to. He did not look back though. No,
I don't think he's going to be at a full complement of snaps until after the bye.
No,
Yeah,
why
I don't
would
think so
you?
either.
Like, play slow with him. You have time, Green Bay. You have other receiving weapons. Go do that. I do like the Connor play. I agree with the Connor play.
They have a bye next week, right? Green Bay.
Green Bay,
they're
yes.
week 6.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
Week 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
don't like the
obviously,
Connor play, man.
what you don't. I like the Connor play. What did
Look at his
Derrick
snap
Henry
rate.
just?
Look at his snap rate.
But
It's dropping week
Ingram's,
over week.
Ingram's not going to play. He didn't practice today.
It's not Ingram. It's the rookie back who's taking all the third down work. I forget his name.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying his snap share has gone from 84 down to 62.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Who would you play over him? You have McLaurin. in
Kamara.
Oh, Kamara. Yeah, it makes sense.
I play Kamara over him.
Okay, sorry, I didn't see Kamara in there. That's my bad.
It's all good.
Yeah. So I'm still going to take Greg. I'm still going to take Greg. He has better star power. I think Wilson's going to go off this week in Denver. If Javonte plays, it's definitely Greg. But
I don't think Javonte is playing. I'd be very surprised if he was playing. I am going to go Burner. I think it's going to be close, but I think he has a couple big 30, 20-point games, and I think some of these are going to be duds from Greg, unfortunately.
Yeah, I also don't think either of these guys is making median this week. Like, I think the last 4 teams we reviewed are all not making median.
This Giants-Dolphins game will be very big if the rosters stay this way with Waddle, A-Chain, and Robinson versus Waller. Childs, who you got?
I'm taking Burner too, and to your point, starting 2 Giants pass catchers against Miami and a backup running back in Pittsburgh with a backup quarterback starting is not a recipe for success, and it's not counter to Burner making questionable decisions. This is not anything that's Greg's fault. I just don't think he has the bullets between buys and injuries, so give me Burner.
He has Jalen Hyatt too. He has 3 Giants pass catchers on his team. That's a no-go.
That's
tough.
And then last one, we'll hop right into it. Childs.
Yeah, we don't really need to review this one too closely. It's Childs 2-0, potentially high score of the week again. Like, no one's on bye. He's just gonna fucking mow down Shanker.
You don't think Mostert's going to score 50 points again?
So
I think even if Mostert does score 50 points, he's gonna mow down Shanker.
Hey, 2 points. I probably take myself here too, but 2 points. Rock came on the injury report today with a mysterious abdomen injury. So he can't go. I'm fucking fine because if you look at the wide receiver 1 numbers against the Steelers, it's outrageous. And Zay is wide receiver 1 in Baltimore.
You would start him over Pacheco?
It'd be a wide receiver start. Oh no, I guess you're probably right. Anyways, whatever. There's that, and then Ridley has been kind of mid. So I know you two are kind of anointing me a little bit here, but I think there are a couple holes. But my King Monty is going to carry me to a win.
Yeah, this is actually probably closer than Hawk is giving it credit to.
I agree.
Some of these guys could have a big week. I think they've been somewhat down with Mixon, Smith, Debo. I think put up a 0 burger last week.
He also doesn't have a flex in yet. I think this will be close.
Yeah, I'm going to go Childs as well, but it is going to be close. There's going to be a few close matchups. Last week, I think all the matchups were decided by like 7 o'clock on Sunday, but I think this is going to come down to some Sunday night and Monday night games for sure.
Yeah, by the way, his flex is going to be Cortland Sutton.
Or there is a chance that like Buffalo Jacksonville is like, 35-28, and I'm winning before the 1 o'clock games start.
Yeah. But all right, that was it Oh, then let me give you John's real quick for those last three. DC beats Shanker. Burner beats Greg, and John says he's going to win as well. Okay. So moving on.
By the way, on that Zay Flowers point, which I was just boasting a little bit, if you guys are playing DFS or doing BRs this week on Underdog, I would get some shares.
Okay.
Look, there's a tweet about the number one wide receiver numbers versus Pittsburgh this year.
They're good.
And they're very good.
Carried by the boy, Nico Collins.
Yeah. So I think this could be the last week to either get him at a salary value or a draft pick value, because I think he could fucking blow up this week.
So the one thing I'll push back on there, we always talk about the number one versus number two wide receiver. Could it be based on the position, though, of the X receiver of Nico Collins? Because if Bateman is back, that could be an interesting play as well. Fair. More in a DFS space. I do think you want to start Flowers over Bateman in redraft in our setting, but I do think it could be interesting because I think it's the outside wide receivers that are giving you guys trouble. Maybe I'm wrong there, but
I mean, I think it's any receivers, but you're right. It might be the X, but Zay isn't exclusively playing inside.
No, that's true. I just think Bateman. I don't know. I just really want Bateman to have a good week.
So do I, but I think he's bad.
I think he's hurt.
Bob, what's your Bateman percentage on DraftKings?
Mine's too high too.
It's like 25% on DraftKings. It's way too high. Because he was going so late. He was going like the 110s, 115s in like early July because he had that little questionable tag. So I'm like, okay, he's just going to rise up. And he kind of did. But, yeah, I have way too much of him. And it's one of the reasons. It's him and JSN are my top wide receivers on DraftKings. So, luckily, there's no regular season prize with DraftKings. We just got to get there. So maybe this will help me in the long run. But real quick, reviewing the matchup previews, how we've done so far. I had a nice 5-0 week last week. There was dominant performances by every single team that won. I was able to pick those out, which felt pretty good. So I'm doing pretty well. The way we're going to do this, we gave John a bye. We are also going to pick buys for the three of us throughout the rest of the season, but just so that it evens out. But right now it's myself in first, John technically in second based on percentage, DC in third, and Hawk in fourth. I think we have a few different picks this week as well outside of the Paul Gutta matchup. So should be interesting to see how this changes to next week, and we'll continue to track this going forward. Any last little chats before we go? Anything else to say about this before we move on to Fab?
I suck at picking winners.
Yeah,
but at least your team is
picking winners.
Yeah,
but my team's 7-1, so it's fine.
That's what really matters. So guess that, Fab. Another kind of slow week. There's one big name at the top, and we have a few names at the bottom that we'll go over. Let's throw it to Hawk first. No, I'll go first actually because I think I threw it to Hawk first last week. So Jaleel McLovin, that's my guy. I think someone is going to spend way too much money on him. I think it's going to be $77 for Jaleel McLovin. And McLaughlin, I know, but I like McLovin. 77.
Okay.
It ain't going to be me. I got a $0 bid on him. I'll get him if I get him.
Hey, Bob, you know that Brandon only has like $15 left, right?
Well, Greg has a shit ton left, I think.
Greg does not. Greg has like $35 left.
So I have 96. Shanker, who I'm pretty sure doesn't even check waivers, has 96. And then Burner has 97. And Burner does not need a running back. So I'm going to go $43.
I literally was going to say 42 before you opened your mouth.
There we go. Do it.
Now,
we'll share it.
But now I'm going to go 44.
Oh.
Price is right, motherfucker. My personal bid is $32. So if you want him, you better go over 32.
I'm in the sleeper chat already trying to boost up McLaughlin.
All the facts from club.
Hochberg, give me Detroit D.
Detroit D, I got I'm gonna go with $9. I'm gonna go $9 on Detroit D. I think somebody will go in on them. Do we know if Branch is playing? Is he good?
I think so. He just seems to have a little bit of a cramp issue.
Okay, so yeah, I'm definitely going at least $9. Probably gonna go above that. I probably need to adjust my bid up.
Who do they play?
Carolina.
DC?
Yeah, like the odds are they might score. Like that's an aggressive team, great D line. I think at least $9. Go ahead, DC.
12.
Wow, I'm gonna say like 5 or 4. So I'm gonna go $5. I don't think it's gonna be that much. Maybe you guys know something that I don't, but
we know that
Jonnu,
Dan Campbell's a fucking boss, and Detroit is winning the Super Bowl.
Have you guys seen those Dan Campbell memes about like his quotes?
Yes.
They're fucking phenomenal.
what do you mean? What are they?
Oh, dude, they're like, so one of them is like Jared Goff, and it's hold on, let me read this one for you.
Yeah, here while you're pulling that up, I'll go through the next one. Jonnu Smith, the tight end one in Atlanta. I'm gonna go $4. Someone who needs a tight end. I think there's a few people who do need tight end this week, so I'm gonna go $4 for Jonnu. Childs.
Just a quick hit here. I know we talked earlier about Kelsey not being Kelsey, which obviously for best ball isn't great with where he was going, but like for KLK, even Kelsey being just like average has been a massive advantage because like every other fucking tight end is just trash. So like just getting like 8 to 10 points a week has been incredible when everybody else is getting 3. On that note, somebody's going to waste $5 on Jonnu Smith this week, and he's going to go out there and get 1 catch for 7 yards.
Yeah, I mean, agreed completely. Yeah, $4 or $5 is probably the range. Yeah, it's 4. I'll go 4 as well. Some idiot is going to bid on Jonnu. It's not a good idea. Like you can't.
That idiot's below me on the screen.
The only Atlanta Falcons player that you could start with any form of confidence is Bijan Robinson. Like that's it. So yeah.
And me and you are both starting a Falcon this week.
A Falcon player that is not Bijan Robinson. Yeah.
What was the stat you were looking up there, Hawk, before?
Oh, it was a quote. It's a quote.
Yeah. Sorry, a quote. Yeah.
So the Sports Memery is the account. And so it's a quote on Jared Goff on Dan Campbell's motivation techniques. Dan takes losing personally. We lost a Thanksgiving game my first year that I didn't play well in. That night, I went to Thanksgiving dinner with my family, and Dan was there, sitting next to my mom, wearing all my dad's clothes. I asked where my dad was, and Dan calmly replied, "I guess he didn't show up today." That was 3 years ago. I haven't seen my dad since, and Dan still lives with my mom. They play in a pickleball league together every Tuesday and send out Christmas cards now. I'm worried about my dad, sure. But I have to trust the process. Dan has a plan. And once word got out to the whole team that Dan Campbell was living with like 6 of our moms, everyone started to play better.
That's great. There's other Dan Campbell memes on that account.
Oh, it's all Dan Campbell. They're phenomenal.
Please send that to me. I'm gonna try and pull that up.
Are you even on Instagram? What's your Instagram?
Oh,
I'm baby.
Yeah, I'm kind of not though. I haven't really been on that in a few months. But let me. I'll take a look at. I didn't know you were saying that was on Instagram. But
yeah, it's on Instagram.
Right.
Washington D gonna keep this train moving. Let's see if we can get to the hoops draft by
the hour mark.
Wash D.
$3 on Wash D. It's certainly not going to beat me. Chicago Thursday night.
Oh,
it's a short week, and I gotta be honest, the Bears offense look good. They look good. The line. I know it was against Denver. I know. I get it. I do. But like,
do you? I don't know.
I
if you
do, but like it's not like Washington, like Philly look good against Washington, Buffalo look good against Washington. Yes, they're elite offense.
I'm gonna keep this moving here. Nobody should bid on Washington.
Right? Yeah, no one should bid.
Negative
That's what I'm
1,
saying.
0, like
$0.
zero. It should be $0.
I'm going $1. Ronnie Rivers, the new backup running back in Los Angeles. I am going to go $1 for Ronnie Rivers. Someone might take a dart throw on him. Who's got 0?
$3 for the bit.
0.
And Zach Ertz. Zach Ertz actually probably more interesting than Jonnu is.
Yeah.
How much you got for Ertz, Hawk?
I'm going to go $12 on Ertz. I think that's a fair assessment. Someone's going to bid on him. Might be me. You never know.
I'm going to steal the screen here for a second.
Yeah, please do. Here, let me go.
And just, there we go. Ronnie Rivers, $3.
You already put it on? Are you doing it right now?
Yeah. Just a live little bit action there.
I love it. You got to keep that now. No take backsies. Ronnie Rivers.
I don't want to drop Jordan Mason though, but
oh no, we're saying Zach Ertz.
I'm gonna go $9.
Okay, I'm gonna go on the higher end. I'll go 15 for Zach Ertz. He's actually been getting a lot of looks, and his expected fantasy points is actually pretty high. And the Cardinals aren't terrible somehow.
Josh Dobbs, King
Josh
Dobbs.
He's
Josh Dobbs to
balling
the
out.
moon.
I'm really disappointed we're not going to get to see Clayton Tune this year, but maybe if things go right for me at the end of the year, maybe we will. But Josh Dobbs is playing great, so all the credit to him.
Want to give a shout out if Josh Dobbs ever wants to come on the pod. More than welcome. Josh Dobbs, once one of us wins BBM.
Oh, yeah. If any NFL player wants to come on the pod, please hit me up. We'll definitely take you. But all right. Any last other things to say before we hop into a hoops draft real quick?
Jaleel McLaughlin is a 20th round keeper or 20th round pick, so 19th round keeper.
And that is part of the reason why I was I had such a high number for him. I think someone might be like, oh, maybe he's the keeper there next year. But
he's not, for the record.
He's not. I know. I think Hawk just drafted him just so that I would pick him up and drop him every single week on the waiver wire. But luckily after this week, I probably won't have to.
Absolutely a bit for that. So.
this week I won't have to, but cool. Hawk, you want to hop in the draft?
Yeah, I think I got to re-up on UD, but yeah.
Closing thoughts from me. The Cooks are back.
Yes, please.
It was a tough start, but the Cooks are back. Feels good to be home. Back-to-back high-scoring weeks. But Hawk, you never let me know when you had me be commissioner how much it sucks to win high score as commissioner.
Yeah,
it's the worst.
I don't get anything. I just don't send out money.
Oh, your Venmo balance didn't change this week.
Yeah, nothing changed. It's just sitting there.
It's the worst.
I guess there's the goal of earning my buy-in, so I don't have to put my money in, but it's not fun.
Dude, it only gets worse. Wait until you pay the league out and then you have to order the trophy.
Ooh, I'm gonna look at Trophy Smack right now because we're getting a new trophy this year. After my what does my trophy say? Hang on.
Did you just see him walk through a brick wall?
I didn't see him get up. I'm pulling up Underdog real quick. Let me know when you're about to hop
in. It just says, it's not going to work, is it?
No, it's not.
It just says 2021 Keeper and Fantasy Football Trophy.
That was not my fault. So they fucked up the trophy. They fucked up the trophy. So I used the same website for years, and it just wasn't good. So I go to DC. I'm like, bro, do you want me to call them and get a new plate sent to you? It's no problem. I'm happy to do it. And he goes, nah, I like
it. He's being nice because obviously he doesn't want to make you go through the entire fucking process of.
Yeah, I don't care.
It would have been dude, you know how much I love calling people and yelling at them when they fuck up? This is I get joy out of that. Like, obviously you handle it respectfully. You're not like a dick to someone for no reason. They didn't screw it up. It was an honest mistake. But you just go and you get them to make it right.
Yeah, it's coming from the guy who put the fire extinguisher in Solomon's room. I don't think you get to say that.
What do you mean?
About the good guy, whatever
Good guy. Honest mistakes happen. You didn't need to spray a fire extinguisher under the kid's door in a closed door environment. It's not like the door was open and I'm just like, oh fuck it, let me spray in his room. Like it got under his door. It was flailing around. It happens.
Yo, Bob, can you pull up my screen for a second?
All right, let's cut out. We're still live. This is ridiculous.
Can I just send this to Burner, like regardless of where he finishes this year?
Wait, do we have like? Hold on.
How much is that? How much is that?
It's $39. I'm gonna send it to him.
That's hysterical. With the engraving, can you get Manifest Fantasy Karma engraved in there for the 39?
Oh yeah, I will absolutely chip in on getting the engraving done.
I think so. So yeah, we're gonna do that, and then I'm gonna pick us a trophy from this like better site this year. So
yeah, awards for anything sucks.
Yeah, we'll do that.
How do I see league history on the? I guess I got to go to the mobile app for that.
Here, let's save this. Let's save that for another time. Let's hop in a draft real quick, and then we'll get out of here.
Yeah, I'm ready to roll whenever you guys want to.
Are you drafting on stream?
Yeah, I think me and Hawk, we're both gonna hop in, right?
All right, you are DC. Oh, DC can't play.
I cannot play.
Oh man,
I can help though.
All right. What you want to go on 09? Just next once the minute turns, we'll go in, or we can just count it down. 5, 4.
No. Let's just count down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hop in.
All right. A lot left. 9 people left.
Okay, so yeah, we probably got some time. I'm gonna tell. Okay, so we got a little bit of time. So what I want, actually, what did you want to do right there, Hawk?
Well, hold on, I just wanted to see.
I can pull up
league history. Hold on, no, I got it.
Well, no, I can do it. Show it.
So Matt Burner, since we moved to Sleeper, has an overall record of 32, 52, and 1.
Yikes.
Wait, say it again.
He has an overall record of 32, 52, and 1. He is the worst team in the league in that time span. Do you know who is the best team in that time span?
Childs?
No, Childs is 4th, which I find very strange.
I went like 1 and 12 our first year on Sleeper, I think.
Because you didn't say, because we weren't actually on Sleeper.
Yeah. The first season doesn't count. We gotta look after that.
Well, yeah, I don't know how to do that because I can only see all-time standings. But I guess hold on. Let me go to the record book because in the record book I can do it. This is why you have a record book.
So I think we have a viewer who is a little bit disappointed in some of our takes, who might come on for half a second to try and defend himself. We'll see if.
Is Burner coming on?
Burner, let's go.
He tried to call me.
Don't show him his trophy unless he was already saw it.
What was the first year we were really on Sleeper, guys? Was it 2020 or 2019?
I think it was 19.
19. Okay.
Yeah, I think 18 was the first year we were there. All right, my buddy is also in. 7 left. Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So since we moved to Sleeper in 2019, Childs is number 1 in wins with 31 regular season wins. Next.
Well, is that also including the bye wins? Because that's going to skew it a lot to the last year or two. You know what I'm saying? Or are you just looking at head-to-head?
It is absolutely also skewed to buy-ins. Yes.
Holy shit, I've been on mute this whole time. 2019 was not Sleeper because that's the year I went 1 and 12, which did not actually happen.
Okay, so it's 2020 and up.
Are you sure? I think I remember that happening, Childs.
No, because I remember the first year that Sleeper happened. Okay, this makes a lot more sense. Childs is still number one with 20. Oh, no. Yeah, Childs is still number one with 26 wins.
Hold on, guys. We have a special guest.
Yo,
Matthew Burner.
yo. What? Yeah, right. God, what type of blasphemy is going on right now? I joined for 2 minutes and I see a toilet bowl trophy and somehow my name gets dropped in there. What's going on about this? I literally haven't watched all year, and then I'm like, oh, let me see what they finished up. And then all of a sudden I see a toilet bowl on my screen.
Oh, that's incredible. That's
Ridiculous.
amazing timing.
Yeah, amazing timing. So funny. Yeah. Let's get Manifest Fantasy Karma engraved on there, huh?
Burner,
What's up? So are we? What are we looking at here? The all-time records on Sleeper.
in
Yeah,
your
Am I really
defense,
last?
you have the most
are-
recent title on this chat right now, other than myself. So
You are dead last,
There you go.
and since we moved to Sleeper, 14 total wins.
Well-
And I think you won a title. Did you?
He
win
does
have a
You won
title,
title
though.
at ESPN.
I went to title, and I think I've been to 2 finals since we've done that. So it just really speaks to how bad some of my seasons really have been.
Yeah, so you have 14 Well, so it's tough to do because Childs has 11 wins in the double up season last year. So of course you're going to be number one. But the thing is, you're 4 wins higher than the next guy, which is still Shanker. I don't understand how Shanker's.
What?
Because Shanker never sells.
because he's always middle of the pack. Yeah, he's always like 6-5 or 5-6. Like,
Yeah,
he's
Shanker
never
has
bad.
22 wins. Me and Rob are both at 21. And then it drops under 20. The next one is John at 19.
That's too funny.
How many seasons is this? That doesn't seem like very many. I would have thought.
It's only 3 seasons.
Yeah, because we were on
Oh wow.
ESPN for a bit.
We've been
right.
drafting on Sleeper for 6 years, but we've only been. This is our 4th year actually
Oh
playing on
right. I
Sleeper.
think the last year in ESPN is also when I went to a finals. Maybe might have been
won.
the last time.
You won the
All
last
right.
time.
The
When we were on.
Oh,
We
we're
were
up.
on ESPN. Got it.
the draft has started. To give everyone a lay of the land, my boy Jordan, who I'm going to be doing the Eastern Conference preview with tomorrow, he is in the 3 spot. He is
Ooh.
currently double tabling a draft right now. Hawk is at 1-4. So Hawk, I believe Jordan may be listening to this, so you probably don't want to say too much. Jordan, if you're in the chat, say something in the I guess if you're watching.
No, it's all
say something
good.
in the
I'm gonna
chat.
talk so much shit on Jordan during this. I'm super excited.
Go call out
Sorry,
his team.
Jordan.
And then I'm at the 11th spot as well. Burner, is there anything else to add in here to defend yourself? We're gonna have you back another time, but right now we're gonna try and just keep it a few of us for the hoops part, unless you really want to stick around for the hoops part. But we're gonna be talking
I could
hoops the
probably,
rest of it.
if y'all don't mind, I do have a NBA draft that I've done less than I normally do for football before, so I can kind of just sit in and listen. To be fair, probably not going to add much. I will just maybe defend in saying that our league when you get a certain point in the season, you kind of want to not be so great. So I'm gonna just say the teams on the bottom almost as impressive as being the teams at the top. Maybe just leave on that. Yeah, Dan, I see that face. Let me. All right, that's all I got.
I get where you were going, but I don't think most impressive was.
What do we
know.
think?
Well,
What do you
like,
think Jay Hoops is doing?
you have conviction and you know when you're out of it, and you try
Right,
to move
like
on
I'd
the
rather
next
be
year.
at the bottom than be Schenker, who's
Is he
never
gonna-
won a title
is he-
and has never
oh,
been close.
1,000%. I 1,000% agree with you there.
Just saying,
I
just
agree.
saying.
I agree, Burner.
All
I
right,
feel like
so
the
yeah, I'll
top
kind of
4
list-
in this draft are should
Sam,
be pretty set.
SGA was the pick.
Yeah,
Absolutely not.
I would go Tatum or SGA over Embiid, just because
Why?
this is primarily a regular season tournament where the majority of the money is going to be won from regular season champion weeks 1 through 17. It's the same thing. So getting injury prone players probably not the best thing. I think that it could work out in this kind of format, but especially a guy like Embiid, I think is going to be sitting a few games here and there in the beginning of the season. like give me Tatum and SGA, who I think could play a 70, 75 game slate all the way through. So my two guys are going to be the Indy guys or KD here. Okay, so Lillard went there. Wow, Lillard's going pretty early. Where's his ADP at right now? Lillard is at 14, so maybe he would have fallen. I'm going to take my – you know what? I'm going to go Halliburton. If I wind up getting Siakam, that won't be the end of the world, but I'm definitely going one of those two.
Considering AD here at all?
I definitely could, but I think it's a little bit of my Denver Nugget anti-Laker bias. And I think that there are other bigs that I can get later on that I like in a relatively similar range compared to getting a guy like a Durant, who I don't think I can get later on. Part of it's the injury thing. I just don't think AD is going to play a full season.
Wow. Bridges went 15.
I would – Winky's a good player too. I don't hate the KD pick, but I would say he carries some of that same injury risk and is older than AD. B, any concern with the fact that is now Beal, Booker, KD all in the same room?
No, that's true.
I think that the Lakers are going to be very concentrated between LeBron and AD, whereas KD might have nights off and might defer more. With the talent around him.
Well, if Hawk or Jordan gets AD at this point in the draft, I think that's pretty nice. Even LeBron there wouldn't be that bad.
I have Mitchell right now at the top of my
over LeBron and AD.
Yeah,
that I can't get behind, especially because of positional scarcity. I know that there's not a ton of guards after this.
I guess maybe I take LeBron. I don't know that LeBron is going to play a full slate.
He might not, but
he might rest a lot this year. I don't really want to take a lot of LeBron.
I'd
much rather have a guy like Donovan Mitchell who plays 70+ games a year and fucking performs.
You want to know the last time Donovan Mitchell played 70 games? 2018.
Yeah, it's a while ago. Yeah, all right. Sorry, he played 67 and 68 games.
And 69.
69.
I think it's LeBron, but do you?
It is. I would just take the ADP value.
Donovan.
Okay.
You think you take the ADP at the LeBron? All right, fine.
Take Donovan. Give Jordan LeBron. Oh, never mind.
I don't know. No, fine. Fine. Sorry, Jordan. They bullied me into doing it.
Wow, he went Vic.
That guy was also on my list.
We were talking about Vic, Jordan and I, that we didn't love him. So I'll be interested to get his take on why he's doing it here. Maybe just mixing it up a little bit. Part of it is just upside because if Wembanyama does play close to a full season, at least the beginning part of the year, I could theoretically see him getting kind of close to this, just with how many counting stats, especially with blocks being worth so much here. I don't know if we've seen a perimeter player. I know he's also as a big, but he basically plays as a perimeter player that can get those kind of defensive stats. So I don't love that pick. I probably am going to shy away from Victor in the second round, but I see the upside, obviously. But yeah, Hawk, what are you thinking about doing this? Yeah, that's funny. I asked Jordan if he was watching. He said, nah, it's too much to double table right now. So he's just popping his underdog cherry, getting used to the two drafts at once. So Hawk, what are you thinking here? I really like Markkanen and Brown.
Markkanen's at the top of my list right now, or Brown.
Yeah.
It goes Markkanen, Brown in that order. If I get either one of them, I'd be stoked. Outside of that, I think it's a pretty big teardrop. Maybe I go Scotty Barnes, honestly.
Yeah. And Scotty had some good metrics when I was just kind of taking a quick peek at some of the high scorers from last year. Scotty Barnes had a one or two really, really solid weeks. So I think another thing to think about is if some of these teams like Toronto are still going to be moving pieces around. Like who is going to open up a little bit? And Scotty Barnes is someone where if he stays there and they wind up trading a Pascal or an OG, he could really do well. So really nice getting Barnes. So Jordan going with Zion, he's just basically going super risky.
Full upside. Yeah, full upside.
Yeah. And I think he's doing a bunch of these, so I think it kind of makes sense to mix it up a little bit. But Zion would not be someone – I'm going to be very, very low on Zion. I've been anti-Zion since he was drafted, so that'll continue this year. But, Burner, let me get your first little takes on what you're thinking about the draft so far and who some of these players are.
I'm concerned for Jordan. If he went Victor Wembanyama and Zion at back-to-back rounds, I don't want to be that guy, but there might be a big hole in this draft at the very, very top. If I'm understanding this correctly, those are his back-to-back picks.
Yep. And to be fair, though, like this is $75K up top to the top team who wins the regular season. So we have to get a lot of things right. Injuries, you have to just stay healthy is like probably the primary thing. So I don't mind it, but that is not how I'm going to be constructing most of my teams. It'll be fun to pick Jordan's brain tomorrow to get some idea of why he was picking him over some of the other guys. I have a close one. I'm going to go Kyrie here. A big part of that is when I was looking at the schedule, Kyrie Irving plays in Dallas, plays the most games before the All-Star break with maybe 2 or 3 other teams have the same amount. I forget how many it was. I think it was like 51-ish games, 53-ish games before the All-Star break. Oh, I'm up again. And I'm going to get my guy, Jamal. And I'll probably be close to done at guard now. And I'll maybe finish with like 4 guards and then be like 4 bigs and 7 or 8 wings. So we'll see how this goes. I don't usually build teams like this. But what's your thought, Childs?
I'm wondering why you didn't take BI or Kawhi there with what you've told me about wings and the scarcity of wings.
Yeah, I think
BI being on the board there feels
it's only
like
because
a
I have
potential miss.
Yeah, BI and Kawhi probably are the right pick. For me, it's a little bit of my Nuggets fandom, and I think this is the Jamal Murray year. So one of the things I want to think about, we always talk about like contracts for football and who wants to get paid next year. So Jamal Murray is up for an extension. He could sign an extension right now, but is not doing that in case he gets an all-NBA team. So I think you could see a very focused Jamal Murray. So Jamal Murray in the 4th round, I'm basically going to be taking nonstop. I probably should mix him up with Kyrie, but yes, I think those wing position players may come back to bite me. I'm just making a pretty big bet on KD already. I know same thing with Halliburton and Kyrie. Probably that wasn't the right call, but I'm going to get a little bit funky with this build and hope that these 3 can be my flex and 2 guards in most weeks. So probably going to go wing big at the next turn or maybe just big at the next turn. But yeah, I agree. I think that there could have been there's an argument for Kawhi and who is the other one? And BI as well, especially BI.
And Hawk, who'd you take over Bam last round?
Scotty Barnes.
Barnes.
It's
close.
If Pascal gets moved, 100%. Otherwise,
just like I love this pick right here.
You know, Bam gets like 9 points a game from.
He's about to go like.
Yo, Hawk, I might finish better than you in this tournament with only 1 team, dog.
Bro. Jordan Poole is going to have a stat stuffer year, baby.
Yeah, for the first
he's
30
score
games.
an inefficient 25 and get like 3 rebounds and 3 assists.
Yeah. And he's not going to like finish the year. Like, I don't think this is a team that's going to be competitive. I think that even around the All-Star break, before the All-Star break, they're going to find chances to rest him. They're tanking. They got one of the worst rosters in hoops right now. I'm just not a fan of Washington. Like, I get the upside, but I don't love the pick, but like I'd rather have Garland and Bane over Poole.
So, and my point on Bam versus Scotty, like Bam averages 20 and 10 with a steal and a block per game with 3 to 4 assists. Like, I just don't think you're going to get that at big a lot.
No.
And like to me, where he's going there, like I probably lump him in right after JB. And then it's a teardrop in my mind.
Yep, I agree. I like that call.
Jimmy, I just like looking at my guys, like I'm fine with Jimmy where he is because he's gonna probably sit like 15 to 20 games, but like I don't know. I think Bam's probably the end of that tier. What is that, 27? Like I think there's a drop after that where like I could see Zion being in that tier if he's healthy, but we'll see.
Yeah, and I don't love that Zion is a wing. He was a big last year. I did notice that some of these positions changed. They're even got a little bit weirder somehow. I don't follow a lot of them, but yeah, it'll be really interesting to see how that little tier of Zion, Barnes, Bam.
Wow.
So Jordan is very high on Jeremy Grant. That's part of the reason why he was high on him last year, and he did really well. Now he was like a 8th, 7th round pick last year, so a little bit different. But I think Jordan is expecting him to have a good season. I would have pushed it a little bit more, but I was doing a draft with Jordan the other night, and we were kind of going back and forth with some of these wings. And Jordan was like, yeah, it's Jeremy. And you can see now there's a little tier break where we've had 8 picks now without a wing. So I kind of get it if he needed a wing. The only thing is he had Zion, so we didn't really need it. I do love the Sengun pick as well. Sengun had
I love Sengun. Sengun
he had like a
beast.
50 he had a 50 or 60 point underdog fantasy scoring game last year, which was a monster week for a big. Maybe it was a full week like that.
He did very well in dailies.
Yeah.
He was a good pick. I really like the guy's team who's picking after Hawk. By the way, I think Paolo is Tatum. Paolo.
You think Harden's going to play?
Harden, I guess not really, but like that those first 3, I think Paolo 3rd round or whatever he got him or 2nd round is. I don't know. He was very, very good last year.
Would you rather have Paolo or Mikhail?
Paolo. I don't think it's close.
Paolo.
What about Paolo or Randall?
Randall.
Paolo.
It's probably still Randall, but I could see Paolo passing him this year. That wouldn't
What's it
surprise
take
me.
for Paolo to outrank
Randall?
Consistency.
20, yeah,
Right,
23, 12, and 4.
I think it's consistency for Paolo because he showed the potential last year.
Yeah, I agree.
I think he needs one more year.
He might. Yeah, I think I would probably still take Randall over him if I were drafting.
Yeah, I agree.
Ayton, Bob. Interesting.
Yeah, I needed a big, and I didn't feel great about Walker Kessler. Again, this goes back to probably I shouldn't have taken Jamal, but I was just looking for more shares of him. So if I'm deciding between Jabari and OG, I'm going to go OG, hope that he maybe gets moved or someone else gets moved. I'm a big OG fan, but Jabari could also make me look really stupid. He had some decent games last year as well. Yeah, what would you guys have done on that turn? I like Giddy a lot.
I just think if you're going to hate on Poole, you got to hate on Ayton for the same reason.
That's fair. I can't argue against that. It's not a sexy pick. I'm hoping that he just plays a lot, and I'll probably take some more upside swings at big a little bit later on. Maybe get a little bit riskier to make up for that. Maybe some like contingent.
Yo, why is Ja Morant on the board?
Because he's going to be suspended.
Well, at a certain point, when you're getting to because you're only starting 6 guys each week. So
no. I think he should go. If he's still on the board when I pick, I'm taking him.
Yeah, like him in this range is fine. Because what was he?
You didn't need a guard.
20 games?
Yeah.
No, exactly.
I need a guard. I need a guard. I will take him if he gets to 69, 100%.
Yeah.
So he's suspended 25 games. I'm going to assume that's like the equivalent of like 6 or 7 weeks of the season. If you feel like you can build a team that's very safe and has a lot of early scoring, especially at guard, I don't hate it because getting him around here, there's not many, like I would take Drew over him in a heartbeat, but I don't think there are a ton of guys around him that have that high of a weekly ceiling that Jaw has. So
I don't
Scoot's
love
gonna be
Drew in the
lit.
regular season. Why do you like Drew in the regular season?
well, I just think Drew is a pretty solid player. I think he's going to play a lot. I think they're going to. I guess that's more of what it is that he's going to be a more consistent player than Jaw because he's going to be playing in the beginning of the year. Holiday hasn't missed many games. He's been a relatively.
He doesn't miss. Yeah, he's a good player. But I'm still going to take John.
Nope.
You guys want to hear my one and only double dribble team?
Yeah.
It's a 5-6-5 build, which I don't really.
Yeah, it's weird.
A ton of research on that. I have LaMelo, Beal, Scoot, Devin Vassell, and THT, which is probably a wasted pick. Wing, I have PG, Keegan Murray, Gordon Hayward, Cam Johnson, Jeremy Sochan, and my boy Nikola Jovic. And then at big, I have DeMontis, Claxton, Mitchell Robinson, Bobby Portis, and Mark Williams.
I don't like going 5 when you have DeMontis.
That's fair.
That'd be my only, like, if I'm taking DeMontis or like Jokic or like a first or second round big, I'm only taking 3 bigs. Like, I'm just like, that's going to be the guy that slots into my big position every week, or I lost already. So that would be my one pushback. Real quick, Hawk, Jordan messaged me that he really wanted Ja. So he was disappointed that you stole him from. So he got Scoot.
I appreciate it. I mean, Scoot's a great pick.
He said, I would have had the best what if team if he got Ja. He would have had oh no, that's you. He would have had Luka, Ja, Zion, Jeremy, Victor, and Sengun. So he said he's going to take Ben Simmons next.
I like that. I like that move for him. I'm kind of debating what to do here. Like with Van Vliet in Houston, I don't see. Is Jalen Green the rest of that starting backcourt? Is Kevin Porter going to even be in the league this year?
There's an answer here, Hawk.
What's the answer?
I know there is. I just don't want to do it.
I know.
Oh, can't do it.
Yep.
Jordan did it. That
was the answer. As far as like just pure role, as far as the players left.
Yeah.
Like,
do I just shore up big, go Allen, and be done? Or do I grab one of – I think I'm going to take Jalen Green and just kind of hope that this is that year for him. Like, maybe he's the guy.
Certainly he's the guy you need. I am coming up soon. I'm not taking a guard. I don't love Jarrett Allen, so I'm hoping I can get Keegan or Cam Johnson. Cam Johnson's one of those like anti-Mikal Bridges contingency plays, so I don't mind grabbing him. So Keegan went. Okay, I'm probably not getting these guys. I can't take Murray, or I can't take Porter with Murray. How do you guys feel about Tobias with all of this Harden question marks? Is he just still too bad to take here, or do we feel like his role may increase if Harden actually doesn't come back?
Does he need his role to increase to be like a relevant fantasy guy?
Well, I guess not in the 7.
He still scored like 7. Yeah, right. He still scored 1,700 points last year, and he didn't play a lot of games.
Who is this?
Tobias Harris.
Don't take Tobias Harris.
Yeah, I'm a little bit confused. I
No, he played 74 games last year. I apologize.
Who are the bigs on the board here?
Jared Allen, Podol.
But who else?
Valanciunas. I think I'm going to go Valanciunas here and do
I don't mind that.
Do my anti.
I think we already have 3 guards. I would have gone.
If you got a need,
Rozier.
I would. I think that Tobias Harris is like not a sexy pick, but like very consistent. I think you know what you're going to get out of him with or without Harden.
Yeah, but with KD though, I think I may want to take a higher.
Yeah, fair.
So it's either going to be one of these guards. I like Azur. I like the Thompson twins a lot. I know Jordan actually went and saw them play down in Atlanta last year and was a big fan of both of them. I'm going to take Azur here. I think Harris, yeah, in the projections, he probably turns out to be probably the better pick, but I want to take that high upside swing. KD is going to be hitting my lineup most weeks, so I want to take a big swing at that next.
Don't
position.
you have 2 wings in the lineup though?
Yeah, with OG, but between OG, Azur, I'm going to take a few more wings to try and level that position out. So, I probably could have gone Tobias or Brandon Miller, but I want to mix in some Azur. I like him, I think, a little bit more than other folks. So,
what's the expectation for Miller this year? Is anyone actually going to be impressed with his rookie season?
I don't think
good
so.
in summer league.
You said he looked good?
I think later on, he started really bad, right?
He started really poorly and started coming on a little bit at the end there, but I did not love what I saw. I still think he's got potential down the road, but I think you could see a very similar year to Jabari Smith, what he had last year in a similar position / role. And I don't know if we're going to – after I took Azur Thompson, so I can't really be saying anything. I'm taking Azur over Brandon Miller just because I think he's functionally a little bit better of a player, but Brandon Miller could just put it all together, but I'd be surprised if he did it year one.
I know, me too. That's all I'm saying.
Nice. I would have gone Vassell over Ivy, especially with Cade there and the other Thompson, or I guess Azur is there as well. I think Devin Vassell is set up for a really nice year. He got paid, what's it?
He got paid. Yeah.
There must be something we're not seeing. Devin Vassell's a guy I would have probably taken if I didn't have 3 guards. I really like that Vassell pick. I think he's a guy that's going to slowly start creeping up. It's one of these things okay, why are they paying him all this money? They must have seen him this offseason and realized, hey, he's going to cost more next year if we don't sign him. So let's lock him up right now. So that was surprising as well, but I'm going to kind of try and pick him up a little bit more. Who are you leaning here, Hawk?
One, I think Jaden Ivey is the breakout guy, just for the record. But I'm actually leaning towards I think I'm going to go Wendell Carter and just shore up the bigs. The alternative there is to go
Sharp, nice.
I could go Benedict Mathurin, who I also really like here. I have 4 guards and I have 2 bigs.
You need a wing or a big now.
I need a wing badly, but I don't like Draymond. I like getting a Jaden McDaniels or even maybe an OE. So I think I'm going to go Wendell here.
Okay, I like that.
I gotta jump, boys.
Yep.
Right.
Awesome.
Later,
thanks for hanging out. We'll do some more ball pods later. Thanks for stopping by. Good times. Burner, you still there?
Oh, yeah.
You won't get a toilet bowl. It was a joke.
But it might not be.
I have a trophy case.
Could be a toilet bowl too.
Can I get a toilet bowl? I want to put the toilet bowl right up there. My other plant died, so I need something to put
How
up there.
many picks are there in these drafts?
16, 17, I think.
16. Okay.
Yeah, 16 rounds.
So I'm a little more than halfway through the team.
Yeah, so a little bit shorter than a regular BBM team. I'm coming up in a few. I need a big. I like Duren.
Yep, it's a good call.
I don't
Why do you guys
mind Mark
keep picking
Williams.
Detroit players though? Are the Pistons going to be good this year?
The Pistons are thin.
Yeah, I think that they have a young core that they like, and we're going to see a lot of those players play. I don't think they're going to be quote unquote good, but it's we're talking about.
Do you have a win-loss in mind for them?
I'd guess under 35. Yeah, I'd guess under 35.
So? Probably 20, 29, 30.
Yeah, I'd guess probably between 30 to 35 they finish at. But that's
if
fine.
If they get to 35, I think that's your bets are going to come good. If they're less than 30 or 25,
it depends on
those guys are going to miss time.
Because honestly, with hoops, it doesn't really matter a whole lot of how good your teams are. I guess I'm going to go.
Well, I'm just thinking as far as Detroit is notorious for kind of benching players and calling in guys just to give them shots. to see if they're anything, and like they sacrifice minutes to their players that they are actually good players.
You should get Mather in here, dude. I know you're stretched on.
No, I'm gonna keep pushing it at guard.
Wing.
I want to load up on wing, and maybe I'll do one late big to end now. But I'm just gonna keep hammering. I could probably do guard next, honestly. I do like Maturin a lot. I guess I do worry a little bit about the overall depth there. I know that they have Bruce Brown, who I'm a big fan of.
Yeah.
They still have Halliburton. That's part of it. Is I already have Halliburton on this team. So,
Oh yeah.
but like I don't know. Like I have to think about that. Like, does it make sense to have the contingent play at the same position so that if Halliburton goes out, then I'm at least getting the guy that's coming in and replacing most of those points. Because we don't have the data of how the teams performed last year, it's kind of hard to understand whether stacking works or doesn't work. I may even reach out to Rudman and some of the underdog people and see if we can get the data. They just shared all of the BBM4 data, including team names, for transparency's sake. So we're going to be able to do a lot of cool stuff looking at all of our teams in this, I guess, best ball portfolio review down the road. This weekend, I'm going to take some mushrooms and microdose like the entire day and just do a bunch of coding. And that is on my list of things to do, is to look at that. So,
it sounds so fun.
Yeah, Hawk, and I'm also going to go to an outdoor concert that day.
Bro,
as well.
I'm literally about to take Ben Simmons right now.
Yeah, I think Jordan is going to take Ben Simmons if you don't. So, well, actually, he's got 5 guards, so he probably isn't going to take him.
I'm going to take Ben Simmons and kind of be done at guard.
Yeah,
that was a waste of a pick. I'm sorry.
I don't mind it as your
he's not going to play.
But you know what?
As my fifth guard,
as your fifth guard, if he plays a little bit, yeah, Jordan really likes Obi Toppin as well. As your fifth guard,
like Obi.
I don't mind it because you know.
Obi.
The one thing I want to think about is we talk about better in best ball for football a lot, but I don't think we've considered it really for hoops, like how much that elite level of player can help, even if it's just for a smattering of weeks. When you're paying up for Jaw, it's a little bit different than paying up for Simmons. But like Simmons, we've seen him put up triple-double numbers and put up 40 to 50 fantasy points in this format. So I don't mind it. If he gets moved somewhere and Brooklyn, they don't have the deepest.
You think that's the issue? Him being moved is the contingent?
No. I think that there's plenty of options for him to succeed if he just gets it together. And in the 11th round, where you're probably not expecting your 11th round pick to be hitting your lineup more than, I guess, 4
Obi could have been that
times.
player. Obi Toppin could end up being a startable player in Indy.
Hawk has, let me see his wings.
I have a very bad wing problem, and I don't know how to fix it.
And that's one thing Jordan and I, when we both did our first draft, we kind of went through the same thing where we were like, we don't like these wings that you're getting at the end of the draft. Jordan really wanted Boyan or Bogan.
Yeah, he was at the top of my queue as well.
Yeah, he's a solid, and I really like McDaniels as well. So I don't think Jordan got too fleeced off of that. But yeah, Sadiq Bey was like your best option. I guess looking back on it, probably going wing is probably what you needed. I know Ben Simmons because like you could have gotten Benedict. You know,
Benedict's not a wing.
But but I'm saying instead of Simmons, you could have gotten Benedict coming back, coming around on that turn.
No,
so that's why it was probably worth it to do that.
Wing. Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of wouldn't mind putting out both of the Thompson twins. Fultz and Quickly, I also don't mind. Fultz is a very similar player to Ben Simmons like that, where it's like, hey, what if this is the year he just like kind of gets it together and is that 40?
I don't know. I think both guys were past the point of like them being considered young players with promise. Like they're both, I feel like, kind of who they are at this point, like in their career. I don't know. I guess there are late bloomers and there's lots of good examples of those guys. So maybe this is the year they figure it out, but just causes me pause for both of them. And I like both of them a lot at one point too. It's just Ben Simmons especially. I just think he's too rich to work hard enough. There's still guys out here trying to make their money. motivated to play, and I just haven't seen it out of him at any point in a long time.
Yeah.
When it like Obi's that guy to me, right? It's like Obi's trying to make that bread, and like I know I don't want to keep going back to Ben Simmons. We can move on, but
Big Mitch Rob.
Yeah, so I went with Robinson. He's been getting a little bit of buzz, especially in this league where blocks are worth so much. He's a guy where if he gets hot for a few days, he can maybe score over DeAndre. Like, really, DeAndre is probably going to be in my lineup for 60 to 70% of weeks as my big, and hopefully I can get a smattering from these other guys. But, yeah, I'm mainly going to be attacking wing and guard the rest of the way. I really like pairing up the Thompson twins, if anything, just for the bit. But it'll be fun to see those guys compete throughout the year. Big fan of them. I'm blanking on the name of the program that they came from. The not G League Ignite. What's it called? Overtime Elite.
Overtime Elite.
So I think those two kids were like the top prospects that have come out of there. A kid actually from my preschool is the guy who started Overtime, and that's how me and Jordan went to the same preschool. That's how we have gotten in contact with him. And Jordan's been scouting these guys a lot and really likes the Thompson twins. So this is going to be my little Thompson twin bet. But Hawk, are you thinking wing or big here?
I'm going to go wing here.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to go with Kelly Oubre.
Interesting. So a little bit of the Tobias Harris kind of conversation from before of like, okay, what happens if James Harden doesn't play? I could definitely see Oubre, he's listed as a wing, filling into that shooting guard role in the starting lineup with Tobias Harris and Maxey. That'd be pretty interesting. I
love that actually. James Harden should sit out. Yeah, that's a great pick, Hawk.
I will say he did. Jordan wanted Trey Murphy. So he just missed him as the contingency. So that's the thing I have to think about a little bit more. Like if you have Zion, you wanted Adams?
I wanted Adams on the back end. I was hoping he'd hold on.
Collins isn't terrible either. I think Jordan may take Collins for the Wemby contingency play. Let's see if he does that. Because
I still need another wing. I'm probably going to go wing here, and then I'm probably going to try to snag Time Lord on the way back.
I like that. I like that a lot. Who are you thinking about at wing? Is it more Caleb Martin or like a Patrick Williams type that you think you would go after? Or is there someone else a little bit further down that you're interested in?
So I was actually thinking Rui.
Interesting.
Like a LeBron contingency play. He'll probably be the off forward.
Yeah. I think what happened is I think that Davis is not going to be playing center this year, or rarely is going to be playing center. So I think that AD is going to be playing that 4 and LeBron is going to be playing the 3.
So and then their guards are pretty set. Yeah.
The Rui play, I would probably take him if I drafted AD or LeBron for like if one of those guys are out and they get a lot of minutes. He took Zach Collins for the contingency.
He might be the backup for both of them, actually, Rui.
Right. So that's why I think like worst case scenario is kind of like a 6-man, 7th-man kind of deal.
With LeBron. No, I didn't realize you had LeBron. Yeah, I like Rui a lot with LeBron. I think that's a good fit. Jordan said Zach Collins, Wemby backup. I think that's a really strong fit. Zach Collins, he was a little bit hurt last year, but he is more of a fantasy asset than I think people realize. So
I'm a good player.
I'm a big fan of that. I'm going to go Kuminga here, hopefully. I think he's a guy that could take a pretty big step, especially with a guy like Chris Paul that can really kind of get him the ball in the pick and roll. He's kind of a weird player where he's super athletic, but not really much of a shooter. Is really good in that pick and roll action, obviously can play good defense. So finding the minutes may be kind of difficult with Clay and Steph already there at the 2-3 and Draymond playing a lot of 4-5. So I don't know how the minutes work out. But again, at this point of the draft, actually, Grant Williams is super interesting as well. Could Grant Williams start on on Dallas, or
For
are
your
you-
team?
No. For the
Well, I'm
Mavericks.
saying because if Kyrie
Hypothetically,
play.
yeah. Who else would they start at forward?
Let me see. Dallas Mavericks depth chart. Let's see what is saying. We're gonna be going through this tomorrow on the Eastern Conference. So they got Grant Williams and
No, you won't.
What?
You won't be going
No.
through the Dallas Mavericks roster on the Eastern Conference preview, buddy.
Oh yeah, sorry. In next week when we're going over the Western Conference preview, I guess in general we're going to be going over the depth charts of all the teams.
What's
and
the depth chart?
transactions.
Where does the Grant Williams sit?
I don't see Grant Williams starting on that team.
I think Kleber probably makes more sense. I am.
What did they list him as? As a backup shooting guard or small forward?
I'm gonna go Kuminga here just for some massive upside play. Maybe he takes a big step. I don't mind these other guys as well. Brogdon was the guy I was hoping was maybe going to fall, and also like Brooks. So that's a little bit disappointing. I'm going to go wing here. Am I going to go wing? How many bigs do I have? No. I'm probably done at guard, actually. So you know what? I am going to go Robert Williams and have my Portland bigs
I like it.
set up. And then what? Take him? Oh, what? Oh, that is annoying. There's positional limits. I tried to pick him, but it said I couldn't. Okay, that sucked.
Why? How many?
Because I guess when you
have more than 4 bigs,
it just when you auto pick it, I have to change how that's set. Although I don't mind actually having it as 4 for the auto. Maybe I wound up saving myself here, but I got 2 more picks left, so I'm going to go wing on both of these to end probably, unless a big falls.
I mean, I like your bigs, but it's Bob Williams would have been great. That's a like 8 and kind of back.
Yeah, I would have loved if Williams fell.
That sucks.
I think I'm going to go Wiseman here.
Yeah, as he could play a little bit of 4, he could play a little bit of 5. The issue with the Detroit guys is there's a lot of them there. One of the reasons why I don't love Duren, I took him, but it's not. You just don't know. But at this point in the draft, I really don't mind it. You're talking about a top 3, top 4 former first round pick, so I really don't mind it at all. For the rest of these, I want to scroll a little bit.
You like Santi? Yeah, Santi's nice.
Who's Santi?
Santi, that dude? He's like a power forward for Memphis.
Yeah, actually, I think
he's
Jordan
like a Turkish dude. He's pretty good. I think he can pass, he can play, he can put the ball on the deck. He's a good player. But he's a big guy. He's like a 6'10", like power forward that can put the ball on the deck and shoot. He's nice.
Vezenkov, I haven't heard much about him, but Jordan was talking to me about him before. I think he was like one of the best players in Europe, over the last few years, and he's finally coming over this year. So expecting him to get.
So Santi was that guy last year. I think it was his first year in the NBA. Yeah, but he was, like I said, I was a big fan of him. Just as far as his play style, like he didn't really get very much minutes on Memphis last year, but like you could see that there was a lot of talent and high ball IQ.
Okay. I like that. Yeah. I'll definitely
a
little bit of Santi.
He's like a similar. I mean, to be fair, he's similar to like a Seti Osman, but a bit bigger and stronger.
But at this point in the draft, like
you're just kind of Spanish, actually. Santi, I can't remember if he's Turkish or Spanish.
Yeah, he looks Turkish, but it's I don't know. That sounds like a Spanish last name though. Hawk, how are you thinking about ending this? What positional breakdown? You're probably doing wing
big.
Wing big.
Wing big. I'm gonna go Jovic right now.
Yep.
Just grab that high upside, and then I think I'm gonna go Rashawn Holmes to close it.
Nice. I like that. I like Rashawn Holmes. I'm going to see if I can get Santi here. If not, I'll go Whitmore. I'll probably just take these 4. I wonder
Venzikov, Alex Venzikov. You're saying?
Yeah.
Interesting. So he's on San Antonio. He's a wing.
Sacramento, right?
Oh, is it Sac? Okay.
Yeah, Sacramento.
Sac's had, hey, listen, Sac gets good European players.
Can you guys see my screen right now?
Yep.
Or is it on the depth chart?
Chart, yeah.
No,
Okay,
I could see your screen.
So yeah, they have Venzikov backing up Keegan Murray, but like he's really the backup wing in general.
Right.
I think he's probably coming in ahead of Kessler. He could be the bench scorer. It's interesting. I don't mind Venzikov. Let's see if I can push him. I'll go Santi here if he's available, and then push Venzikov after that. I took Malachi Branham in my other league, my other draft, as well as.
Is Jonathan Isaac playing this season?
Yeah, expects to be ready for the start of the season, but who knows?
Yeah, that's a weird one. Especially, I don't mind taking a upside swing on a guy like that, but yeah, let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna go wing here. Let's go Santi. I have Whitmore on my other team, so let's see if I can get Venzikov. That would be fun if I could do that. Jalen Johnson. I also definitely want to sprinkle in some Bol just in case. But let's go Venzikov here.
Just in case.
Yo, Bol is the truth.
Yeah.
And if the truth is a lie, then that is the truth. But,
yeah, right.
No.
Yeah,
no slander on my boy
like
Bol.
Girl, dude, it was so funny. He's so funny.
Bol ain't him. So interesting, Kevin Porter going there. I got to figure out what's going on with him. I know he was having his little legal troubles, but to put it nicely,
it's a good swing. I think Kevin Porter plays this year. I don't think whatever. I mean, maybe I can't see him being suspended the full season for ultimately what he's kind of being accused of.
No, that's fair. So I'll recap.
As horrible as that sounds.
I don't really know the situation. What's the situation with him?
It's a very public domestic violence case.
Yeah, I know. The sister threatened him. The whole thing.
Yeah, it's all very public, but it doesn't sound like there's any innocent parties here. From what it sounds like. I mean, in the sense that everyone's a victim, but I have a tough time believing he's going to get hit with a full year for ultimately what happened.
Yeah. So we'll quickly kind of recap these teams. You got Rashawn Holmes. I like that. Paul Reed is another one that's interesting. He's listed as a big, but I think he could play some wing minutes as well. And if you think Embiid is going to be hurt, then Paul Reed is going to get 25 to 30 minutes a game when Embiid is out. So I kind of like that Paul Reed pick as well. But going to the draft, recapping my team, Tyrese Halliburton, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, getting KD and Kyrie back in the same team again, Jamal Murray, DeAndre Ayton, OJ Anunoby, Jonas Valanciunas, Azur Thompson, Jalen Duren, Jeremy Sokan, Amen Thompson, Mitchell Robinson, Jonathan Kuminga, Colin Sexton. I wish I had Robert Williams instead of him, and then I had Santi, and then I could have taken a different guard like Quentin Grimes in the last round. So that was a mistake. I wish I had Robert Williams instead, but still think I landed the plane all right. Hochberg, Joel Embiid, LeBron James, I almost said Scottie Pippen, Scotty Barnes, Jordan Poole, Chet Holmgren, interesting pick there. Would you have gone Sengun if he was there? Over
Probably.
Chet?
Sengun was higher in my queue than Chet was, but I had them both over the rest of this group.
I like that. Ja, who I really like at 69 there. I think that's pretty good value. You're not giving up a lot, and you got two guards after him to kind of make up for Ja.
Yeah, I love that
not
little
playing
spot
in the beginning of the
reach-
season. So
Yeah,
you did a good job
kinda,
hitting guard in this range. I think this range of like the 4th to 8th round is a really nice place to get guard. It's an area I want to.
I love it because you going for Ja and then to be immediately followed up with like two really good players that could ultimately fill that position if it doesn't work out. Smart
and young guys too. It's upside all around, but you are at least balancing the risk with Ja end of the year. Let's see if Jaden or Jalen can have a hot start and get in your lineup a few times. Same
right.
Wendell Carter, interesting. And then the issue is like with Wing is like what happens.
Wing is
You're,
fucked.
you're basically just banking on LeBron and Scotty playing most of the year. I do like that when LeBron is out, you are going to be getting some of those Rui points to kind of make up for that. But it'll be kind of hard. And then the last one, recapping Jordan's team, Luka, Vic, and Zion. So very, very fragile team going Vic, Zion, two guys that probably won't play 60 games this year if we're just being honest about it. Jeremy Grant, I think, is a little bit of a reach, but Jordan is a massive fan of his. So hey, if you like your guys, I don't mind going in. And there is an opportunity for someone to kind of step up in that veteran presence and play a lot and score a lot of points. Jeremy could wind up being that guy. Again, there is a little bit of a tier drop at wing, kind of after this like Kawhi, BI, Paul George range, where it's like after then, like between Kuzma and like Michael Porter Jr., is there like a huge difference between any of these guys? It's like not really. So
I think I like OG amongst. I maybe even go OG above Jeremy Grant, but I think it's personal preference. Like I think OG's a smart pick there. To be fair, not just because you're the one that drafted him, Rob. Just looking at the games.
I like him too. The issue is with they have another wing there too. They have Grady Dick and they have Pascal, and I want to say they have somebody else as well. I'm forgetting. And Scotty Barnes. So you just have a lot of guys in that role. So I think for OG to really hit,
but you always saw Fred VanVleet amongst the league leaders, and he was running with that side with all those same guys.
But he was running guard though, whereas you have the same position with OG, Scotty Barnes, and Pascal Siakam are that kind of 3-4 wing player where there's just not going to be minutes for all those guys to go around. That's the only thing where I see the potential question mark there. And yeah, you can probably you can draw the line wherever you want, but I do think after that Kawhi BI area, it's just like I want to make sure I have a wing in the first 3.5.
If I tell you this, right? Draft. So like I'm gonna just read off. So there's 3. I mean, you want to talk about a tier, right? The first 3 picks first 3 bigs taken here is Paul George, BI, and Kawhi. The next 3, Kyle Kuzma, Jeremy Grant, and Franz Wagner. Like, tell me where there's a difference. Like, there's a massive difference. Yeah.
Right.
Like, that's a huge drop off.
I just think for the maximum output amount of points that you're going to get, like Kuzma, BI, and Paul George are going to be way higher than Kawhi, BI, or Paul George are going to be higher than Kuzma, Grant, and Wagner. Maybe Jeremy but Wagner's going to be held down by Paolo. Like I could see Jeremy getting through there, but even so, like, I guess honestly that 4-5 turn like is just like kind of meh. Like I don't love these picks here between like really like 41 and then 56 here. It's kind of like they're all kind of pretty similar. I could see a lot of those guys underperforming. But real quick, just to finish Jordan's team, he had Sengun there. So let me go back up to the top. Zion, Jeremy Grant, Sengun, Scoot, who I think could have a decent rookie year. Tyler, Devin Vassell, who we talked about, just got paid. Really like him. Shaden Sharp. So he's going very heavy into Portland. It'll be interesting to see what their pace is going to be like. If that team can just get up and down and they're not playing much defense, that could be a really interesting combo of all 3 of those guys. He's got Obi Toppin, Jaden McDaniels, Lou Dort, so a little bit more of the defensive stoppers. Zach Collins, Derek Lively, Kyle Lowry, who's an interesting guy that I think people are sleeping on. People thought Dame was going to go there, so I think Kyle was falling a little bit in the rankings. So I don't mind Kyle at this point in the draft, and then taking a shot on Bol. I don't mind between Bol, Whitmore, Benzikov. I think there's a lot of interesting guys in this range. Hawk, I've been going for a bit. Any little takeaways from your first double dribble draft of the year.
You're muted, but
You're muted. So I was talking for a while.
It's all good. I needed more wing early, maybe more wing middle of the draft. Like you really should try to be grabbing 3 wings in the top 40, 50 picks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I like doing that inverse of what I did, where I took 3 guards in like the first 5 rounds. I want to try that with 3 wings and basically like maybe only having 4 wings. I would have probably only had 4 guards if I didn't auto pick Sexton, but yeah.
But I think there's guards to be had later in the draft, whereas like Sam's draft is really good, right? Where it's like you went 3 rounds, or you went 3 rounds. What was it? 5, 6, and 7.
6, 7, 8.
Like 6,
John,
7, 8.
Jalen.
Those are right. And like look at the guys around it. It's like Clay, Tyler Hero, CJ McCollum, like Jalen Williams, Spencer, like Jaden Ivey. Like I'd much rather have those guys than some of these wings that like Keegan Murray, Brandon Miller, like
RJ.
what like you're gonna be
the
right.
ceiling. The ceiling is limited there for those guys on a weekly basis, especially in best ball when you don't have to choose to start each of them each week. Whereas like you could literally see Jalen Green and Jaden Ivey finishing as top 12 guards by the end of the year, fantasy wise, top 15 guards, and being in your lineup at a decent rate. Whereas like RJ and Brandon Miller, Keegan Murray, Cam Johnson, like you're hoping that they get in only 3 or 4 times. If they're in there more than 3 or 4 times, something very bad probably happened to the rest of the team. So that was interesting that we both had the same takeaway, that you really feel it at wing, where like in this area of like, let me even see. Yeah, like all these wings are just kind of like really after this like 7th round, after this like MPJ tier, between Aaron Gordon to like Tari Eason, Bogdanovich. There's like none of those guys are scoring a ton. They're just playing a lot. And it's like who gets the most minutes and just gets the most counting stats from there. So I think you can really mix up some of these middle rounds as well and get kind of creative in the way you're building these teams. So super fun. Any last takeaways before we get out of here?
No, I'm good.
Awesome. Thanks. We got 2 hours, had an hour of the Keeper League draft and then an hour or Keeper League draft, the Keeper League show.
Where should I?
Huh?
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
Give me some of the highlights on the Keeper League talk. I'm really joined to hear. I thought you guys had finished.
Yeah. Why don't we go offline and then we could talk about that?
Yeah, okay. We'll talk offline. But thank you, everyone. Jordan and I, Jay Hoops, the guy who was drafted from the 3 spot, we're going to be doing an Eastern Conference breakdown tomorrow. It's going to be super low key. I've known Jordan since I was in preschool. We go way back, so we have a pretty good rapport. And it'll be super fun to watch. Thank you, everyone. Leave a like, comment, do all that fun stuff, subscribe. And we will catch you tomorrow and next week as well for the Keeper League show for episode 5. All right. Good night, everybody.